How's it going, folks? So today I'm going to be checking out a band called Bloody Dice. Now, I had this band's manager actually reach out to me and ask me if I would check this out. The name of this song is Bloody Dice, and they released an album back in April, which I think is also called Bloody Dice. So this is the title track. I mean, Bloody Dice times thrice, if I may be so bold as to say. But so they reached out, asked me if I would check this out. I said, absolutely. You know, I missed the album. I didn't hear it. I wasn't aware. Now I am. But I mean, before diving deeper into the album and the band and all that stuff, I'm going to check out this single. Never heard anything from this group before, so I'm intrigued. I think we're going to have a little bit of a heavy metal, sort of maybe hard rock vibe going on here. I'm not sure. I shouldn't even dare to say. So, let's just jump on in and give this a listen, shall we? Rangers, go.
charges: corruption, fraud, manipulation, lies, distorting the truth, selfishness, working for your own gain, greed, deception, and attempted murder. We hereby sentence you to death by the people's vote. This time is payback time!
So this is one of those that falls a bit out of my wheelhouse, but just being like objective and all that kind of good stuff. I thought it was pretty groovy, to be honest. It's a bit Alice in Chainsy. Soundgarden really reminds me of that kind of style. The type of music I was listening to back in the early 2000s and all that good stuff. Audio Slave, and it really, really kind of has that sound to it. I feel like if this dropped back then, it was like on the radio, stuff like that, amongst those other bands and that sound, especially of the time. At least that's what was kind of popular here in the States during that time as far as the rock scene and all that goes. But I feel like I would have dug this. It has a really good sound. It's very well done. And it really kind of takes me back to that time. And like I said, it's a well done song in that style. It's groovy. I love that kind of southern bluesy groove rock going on in there, and his vocals, again, very reminiscent of that kind of vocal style of that time, as I mentioned, but he really captures that sound. He can really wail, and it just really is a little bit of gravel there, but he really is able to emphasize certain parts and really kind of carry you through the song. The music is kind of fluid the way it goes, and I dig that. And then his voice kind of carries you through there, and it just is a really, really good, well done song of that style. Again, it's not really a style that I cover on my channel, nor is it a style that I really listen to anymore. And so I guess it's hard for me to say because I'm not engrossed in this style as I once was. So it's difficult for me to compare it to anything, modern day. But just from what I remember, a lot of those classic songs from some of those bands that I mentioned, it's done well. It's done really, really well. I love that whole intro with the bass and the way it kind of builds up and all that good stuff, and just the vibe. Again, it just really kind of has that groovy, I don't know if this would be called like stoner metal, but there's so many subgenres, but it has a cool feeling about it, just a nice vibe, and the musicianship is solid. And again, the vocals, the vocalist really is what kind of captured me. I don't want to say like impressed me the most, because all of it, all the musicianship and everything was really done well, and the guitars and all that, like with the rhythm but the vocals, he's got a really great voice for this style, so it all sounds right. The song, like, it sounds overall like this is a really well done song for this style. Everything kind of fits together just right. And that's that. It's difficult for me to comment further because, again, there's a little bit outside my wheelhouse here. But as I said, I mean, if this came out back in the day, I can pretty much guarantee I would have been listening to this and would have been like, oh, cool. If they dropped this back then, they I feel like would have been, in people's minds, like, oh, Bloody Dice, oh, this is kind of cool, these guys coming out and facing off with some of these other bands like that I mentioned. So, but yeah, again, it's difficult for me to comment more. One thing I thought was kind of funny is, well, I thought it was cool, like how he's kind of listing off these charges that this person is accused of or whatnot, because they're like on trial. And man, they must really not like this person, because I feel like they were doubling up on some charges here. I mean, they said, what was it? They said for lies, and then they said for distorting the truth. That's a 2-for-1 right there, as far as I'm concerned. And then there's another one. They said selfishness, and then for working for your own gain. Again, I feel like they're spreading these things out to the more charges, the merrier. Semantics be darned. So, I mean, they do not care for this person that is on trial. But yeah, it's pretty neat video, the way it was done. And yeah, again, there's not much else I can say other than I do find it solid for this style, and it took me back kind of to days long past, back when I would listen to this kind of rock and metal and all that. But yeah, as far as now, it's not really my scene. So yeah, I wouldn't really go much further than that. But yeah, I still respect the band. They really nail the sound. And for those of y'all still out there, who listen to that style, really dig that style, perhaps, this album's worth giving a listen, because this song seems to be a good indication. It done well, done well. So yeah, check it out if y'all are interested. But again, as for me, it's a little outside my wheelhouse. Not really the style that I normally cover on my channel. But yeah, if y'all digging that, yeah, check out the album. But so pretty cool. The band here, Bloody Dice, bringing back, modernizing that classic kind of late 90s, early 2000s, the rock metal kind of scene. Yeah, I dig it. It's groovy. But anywho, let me know what you folks think about this song here. You're gonna go check out the album. Did you listen to a lot of those bands back in the day? Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Audio Slave. There's another one I'm trying to remember. I've been trying to remember as I was talking, but for the life of me, I can't remember which one I really wanted to mention. But it's really bugging me. Really bugging me. They did a great cover of Simple Man, Leonard Skinner's Simple Man, and then they did a 45, staring down the barrel of a 45, blah blah blah. Oh man, what is that band? Anywho, it's as soon as I stop recording, it's gonna come to me. But it is what it is. But yeah, let's talk about it. Let me know what y'all's thoughts on this song down in the comments below. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Catch you next time, Ranger. Shine down. Shine down. Close. That was very close. I told you I was just about to stop recording. But yeah, Shine Down's the band. Anywho, catch y'all next time, Ranger.